made with real cheese.
In the battle against athlete's foot, you gotta have, boom, tough-acting Tinactin. Tinactin pump spray is clinically proven to stop the severe itching and burning of athlete's foot. Tinactin is so tough it even prevents athlete foot. So get, boom, tough-acting Tinactin.
Introducing the John Deere SST lawn tractor with spin steer technology. A technology so advanced, it actually cuts time. Right now, enjoy no money down on all riding lawn equipment.
Introducing spicy barbecue strips from KFC. They're sweet and spicy at the same time.
Oh!
Honey and smoked jalapeno barbecue sauce. For a limited time, get 3 strips side and biscuit for $2.99. For wing lovers, 8 wings for just $2.99.
Wow!
Welcome back to the Nazareth Speedway. We're almost set to go racing. Steve Burns, Larry McReynolds, Dr. Dick Bergen of Speedway Illustrated, and Jeff Hammond on pit road for us. Larry, let's take a look at that starting grid. First row, Tony Raines, his first pole in NASCAR Busch Series competition, and our points leader, Kevin Harvick.
Jason Keller, best finish here is second, but our winner from last week, and they brought the same race car here.
In row 3, Bobby Hamilton Jr. doing double duty, and Hank Parker, who won his first race at California.
Jimmy Johnson, he's 7th in the point standings. His best finish this year is 4th.
Jamie McMurray still looking for a top 10 finish. Kenny Wallace hasn't raced here since 1994. His best finish is 3rd.
Tim Fedewa, the only 2-time winner and one of only 2 winners in the field.
David Donahue making his best start of the year. Jeff Purvis was 2nd here in 1998.
Clay Rogers, his best start in 4 races this year. They tested here, felt good about the test.
In row 9, the engineering graduate of Old Dominion University, Ashton Lewis Jr., and David Green's got a lot of experience here.
The Talladega winner, Mike McLaughlin, has 8 starts here, but has never led a lap.
Hey, Larry, how about Ted Christopher? He's got 2 top 10s here in a Busch car.
And on the pole for today's modified race later on.
You know, there's 17 drivers out of 40, Larry, who have never raced on this racetrack, and as difficult as this place is, it could be wild.
And if I'm their crew chief, it's like, look, we need to make laps. Race this racetrack. Let's stay out of trouble. The only way you're going to gain experience is if you're on the racetrack.
The number 72 car of A.J. Alsop had to withdraw. They blew a motor. And Tim Sauter in the 61 will have to go to the back of the field for an unapproved engine change.
And what an unapproved engine chain is in Busch Grand National, unless you blow the engine, have an engine failure, if you decide to change the motor, maybe the engine don't feel right, you can change it, but you have to start the race at the rear of the field.
And you see Drew White, Nate Monteith, 2 of those guys making their first start here at Nazareth. Take a look at the race analysis for the Nazareth 200. Larry, we have 40 cars starting. Pit window 90 to 100 laps, but that may not come into play.
That's going to be a key, though, I think, Steve, because a lot of teams are saying they can do this race on 1 stop. And with this hard tire, we may see some 2-tire stops, but with this tire, we see it week in and week out. That pit window, it can come into play.
And you said it, too. The guys that make the best decisions from the pits may determine the outcome of this race.
And giving them good pit stops.
Yesterday it was hot and sunny, but that's not the case here today. Air temperature, it's not. It hasn't even busted 60 degrees, Larry.
Well, I talked to a lot of crew chiefs this morning, a lot of head scratching going on because, again, the racetrack was very hot yesterday, slick and greasy. A lot cooler today. The big fear is the cars are going to be a lot tighter. Won't want to turn as good today with the cool, overcast conditions.
Take a look at our onboard cameras for today. That's outside the 17 of Clay Rogers. You said making his 4th start. We are nearing the start of the Nazareth 200. Pace car is off, Larry.
200 laps. Everybody be hunting the bottom of this racetrack before they get to turn 1.
Tony Raines leads the field into turn 1.
Jeff Green, he's got the bottom of the racetrack here through turn 2. Got Kevin Harvick in that 2 car trapped on the outside.
Tony Raines leads him down that long backstretch. Jeff Green underneath Kevin Harvick, followed by Jason Keller and Bobby Hamilton Jr.
Pretty much now the first 9 or 10 cars single file. Don't look like for long, though.
Saw some smoke just up there from the back of the pack. You know, Larry, if you look at Tony Raines, the first half of the season, the first quarter, his average finish was 24th. The last 6 races, 14th.
They just keep getting better and better every week. They come to the racetrack. They're qualifying better, they're finishing better, and they're finishing races, and that's the big thing.
That's the key. They ran good early. They just couldn't close it. Tony Raines, the 1996 ASA champion, won 4 races in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. Larry, I talked about some dust kicking up. I think it might have come from the 17 of young Clay Rogers.
This is going down into turn 1. Here you see Clay Rogers in the 17 car. Oh, I was kind of see why. Looked like maybe Rich Biffle in the 59 car kind of checked up. Clay Rogers had to jump on the brakes and got the car loose.
David Donahue also in the 25 right behind Biffle. Looking out the rear of Clay Rogers' car. His 4th race of the 2001 season, just 20 years old.
And we mentioned they tested here. Problem is, they decided to take that car to Loudon, New Hampshire, was involved in that early wreck. They had to bring a different car here.
Yeah, they ran over 300 laps. Crew chief Russ Struck said they're very happy with what they accomplished for young Clay, but as he said, that wasn't the car they wanted to bring.
But he did get that valuable track time, seat time at this racetrack, regardless of which car he was in.
Clay Rogers currently riding 16th. Tony Raines still leading. Kevin Harvick and Jeff Green there. The yellow 10 car is 3rd. Look at
Kevin Harvick, though. He looks like he won't lead in this thing. He wants those 5 bonus points for leading, but he has to duck in behind as they head off into turn 3 here.
You know, Larry, Tony Raines told me that the confidence factor is really going up for him as well, that he and his crew chief, Michael Kadlasick, they call him Dover, that they've really got on the same page here recently and weren't afraid to talk to each other.
Well, and that's so important. It's communication. I mean, it's got to where a driver and a crew chief, they've almost got to be like a marriage with a husband and a wife or a son and a father. You've got to have that relationship, but most importantly, you got to communicate.
Tony Raines continues to lead the field after 6 laps. Jeff Green starting to heat up behind Kevin Harvick. Jason Keller in the 57 behind Green, his teammate, and there's Greg Biffle in the 60 car.
Tony Raines, he's doing exactly what he needs to do right now. He's running the bottom of this racetrack. Kevin Harvick keeps looking to the inside, but Tony Raines slams the door here on him, running the bottom of the racetrack. So hard to pass him. Lap traffic, where they're coming up on lap traffic now, could play a big role. Boy, they get close to our leader, Tony Raines.
And Larry, we talked about the inexperience of this racetrack. 17 drivers who had never been on the track before. Jason Keller told me at practice yesterday they had a hard time running fast laps because of the slow traffic.
Well, here we're already lapping cars at lap 7 on a 1-mile racetrack. There's such a speed differential from the fast cars to the slower cars.
Last week's winner, Jason Keller, in the tire tracks of the number 10, Jeff Green.
Jeff Green, he may have qualified 3rd, but every practice they've held here this weekend, Steve, he has been a fast race car. Crew chief Harold Holly told me they just bobbled a little bit in qualifying, but this is the same car that he ran at Loudon, New Hampshire last week as well.
Larry, last year, Jeff Green started on the pole in this race, and he finished 4th. And Harold Holly told me yesterday he was shaking. He was so mad. He said, I want to win me a darn pole.
When he told me they'd not won a pole this year, I was shocked.
I know.
It's hard to believe you guys have not sat on a pole yet.
Well, he wasn't shocked yesterday. He was mad. Hank Parker Jr., who won at California, slows on the racetrack.
See a little bit of smoke coming out the back of that thing. He may have had engine problems here early in this race.
Let's go down to Jeff Hammond and see what's going on. Jeff?
Yeah, Steve, just monitoring the 36 car. They're getting ready to bring him in. They believe they've lost an engine as he came down into turn 1. Smoke erupted out of the car. He just about lost it, so I believe he's got oil coming out of the engine right now.
Tough break for Hank Parker Jr. Larry came in here 20th on the points. After he won at California, been fighting his way up the point standings.
had that momentum going. But I talked about the difference in the straightaways. And there's a compromise with the corners, but a lot of crew chiefs told me, Larry, big compromise in gear selection. You've got the short straightaways that you need a very low gear for to reach maximum RPMs, but it turns a lot of RPMs on the long backstretch over there. So RPMs, hanging RPMs, where they just get up there and stay, that could cause a lot of motor attrition today.
And we just heard that Hank Parker Jr. has, in fact, blown a motor. He'll be done for the day as they raise the hood. You're watching NASCAR Busch Series racing on FX. From Nazareth, Pennsylvania, Tony Raines continues to lead.
NASCAR on FX is brought to you by Haviland, by Pep Boys, and by Budweiser.
Four identical cars, four identical engines. Only one running on new Haviland, our latest triumph in Haviland motor oil technology. And what difference does that make? Not only do you get unsurpassed performance, but tests show that with new Haviland under the hood, you get better gas mileage. Haviland. Add more life to your car.
Buy 12 quarts of Biffle motor oil and get this die-cast collectible for just $5.99 while they last.
In the battle against athlete's foot, you gotta have, boom, tough-acting Tenactin. Tenactin pump spray is clinically proven to stop the severe itching and burning of athlete's foot. Tenactin is so tough it even prevents athlete's foot. So get, boom, tough-acting Tenactin.
Change the light, change the mood. Sylvania, brilliant light.
Americans love their high-performance Briggs & Stratton engines. That's why just about every neighborhood in America is a Briggs & Stratton neighborhood. Briggs & Stratton, the power that works for you.
Got you the hand there?
Yeah.
It's going to be a long day.
When you need help with your air conditioning, count on your Bryant dealer.
Got some problems.
He'll help you save money, too, with Puron, the environmentally sound refrigerant. Whenever, wherever, whatever it takes.
Tuesday on Son of the Beach. Divine Ride goes after the ultimate prize.
Look, Ma! No, Viagra!
Mark Hamill guest stars.
Where do we even find this psycho?
I'm right behind you.
Don't do that!
Son of the Beach, Tuesday at 10 on FX.
The stars of Dawson's Creek, Mad TV, Sabrina, and Whose Line Is It Anyway show up to take the test with Jillian Barberie. The Test, this week, weeknights at 11 on FX.
We have a new leader here at Nazareth, Pennsylvania. Kevin Harvick has taken the lead from Tony Raines just moments ago. Larry, let's take a look at how it happened.
Well, this was coming off the final corner, and right here's where Harvick had been getting a good bite, trying to get under Tony Raines lap after lap, but he got a better bite, gets to the inside, got the inside position, across the start-finish line. Tony Raines has to say, okay, buddy, it's yours.
Right before that, rookie Scott Wimmer in the 23 car came in here 10th in point, but he made contact with the wall. There he sails off to the right, Larry.
There's no question. Looks like the right front tire went down.
And he's on pit road right now. Let's check in with Dr. Dick Berggren.
Well, he had just called into his pit crew literally a lap before hitting the wall, and you are right, Larry McReynolds said that the right front tire was going down. As he went into the wall, there were sparks right out from underneath the right front corner of that car. He had no control over it. Bam, Wimmer hit the wall. This is the second time he's crashed in 2 weeks. Last week it was in New Hampshire in practice.
Well, Dick, we're working caution now, not for Scott Wimmer, but the 93 car of Bill Hoff has made contact. And our first caution of the day, there's Hoff. Our first caution of the day flies on lap number 19.
Be interesting to see what some of the leaders do, or any of the cars. I feel like right now they don't need tires, but if there's a question, and we've seen this last week with Jeff Green at Loudon, New Hampshire, if they think now they can make it on one stop, possibly may see some teams pit, especially cars at the back of the pack to get that tank full of fuel.
Kevin Harvick leads the Nazareth 200. He's followed by Tony Raines, Jeff Green, Jason Keller, and Greg Biffle. We'll be right back on FX.
All right, the number 99 Aaron's Dream Machine.
Oh, yeah, ain't she a beauty? Of course, she don't compare to the wife, though.
Really, these are the true Aaron's Dream Machines, the products we all dream about owning.
And at Aaron's, everyone's automatically pre-approved with no credit required?
Yeah, and you get the guaranteed lowest price, too.
So you can afford this awesome RCA 52-inch big screen TV with picture-in-picture, big speaker sound, and free screen protector.
And I'm really pre-approved?
That's right. So let Aaron's drive your dreams home today.
Never once did your car ask you for flowers. Never once did it ask you if it looks fat. Or did it get mad at you for leaving the seat up? Doesn't it deserve something special in return?
The Home Depot is driving down the cost of home improvement. Don't put off the project. Put off the payments. Now through May 31st, put zero down, make zero payments with zero interest for 6 full months on any Home Depot consumer credit card purchases totaling $250 or more. So whether you've got big plans or little plans, make plans now to come to the Home Depot. It's only for a limited time, and it's another first in home improvement.
Introducing new Armor All Protectant Wipes. Armor All Shine and Protection now in a wipe.
How's it going, Stan?
Pretty good. If we could just move that front cake and a couple more macaroons, I think we can ship that package to the suburbs.
Good. Here's another one.
Good. Cookie?
Your small business should need its own small business to pay for shipping. For tools to help avoid unexpected surcharges, manage your bottom line, and meet customer demand, check out USPS.com.
It's 2 days of NASCAR action on FX. Thursday is Winston Cup qualifying at 7, followed by Goodies Dash. Then Saturday at Tappy Hour, 3:30 Eastern, only on FX.
Welcome back to Nazareth. Still under caution for the first time today, brought out by the number 93 of Bill Hoff. Kevin Harvick, the points leader, also leading the race. Hey, let's check in with Dick Berger, and he has a report on Randy LaJoie.
He's already pitted for 4 tires, and the reason for that is that they decided they didn't have the best race car, not the fastest vehicle in the field, so they decided that they were going to do was pit early today, as they did last week. Sometimes this business of short pitting can work to a fellow's advantage. They'll short pit now, then won't pit when everybody else does. That ought to put them up in the front of the field. Then when nobody else pits, they'll pit again, and who knows? It might cause them to win the race. To Jeff Hammond.
Thanks, Dick. Sorry about that. One of the things I'm noticing, Larry McReynolds, is standing down here in the pit area. As you come across the start-finish line, the track almost has like a rise in it and a little swell as it comes down into turn 1. I've noticed a lot of cars locking up the left front tire coming down in this corner because you're driving so hard, getting on the brakes. And you talked about earlier how tricky this place is. It's a lot like a road course. Standing here, it almost reminds me of watching some of the cars come over and down into a road course area. The car is very, has to get slowed down very much going in this one. Otherwise, it gets out against the wall. A lot of these cars are having trouble negotiating traffic right now through this part of the racetrack. This is a very tricky part of the racetrack I can see from this vantage point.
Well, you're right, Jeff Hammond. I mean, you're going at a straight line on the brake hard, almost making a 90-degree turn into turn 1. We see Randy LaJoie in the 7. He's back on pit road. And you mentioned it in the pre-race. It's what we call an off-camber corner almost, which means the banking is almost the opposite direction. It's a very tricky corner to get through. Right here, we're looking at a shot where you come across the start-finish line there right at the scoring tower, and once you turn down into turn 1, you're almost continuing to turn all the way till you get to the backstretch. You never quit turning the race car. This track is a mile racetrack, but you're only holding the wheel straight for just a few seconds.
Yeah, as we said, Larry, a lot of guys refer to this place as a road course. The backstretch goes downhill, front stretch goes uphill. Let's go back down to Dick Berger to update Randy LaJoie. Dick?
Well, Randy LaJoie has pitted one more time. He was involved in a jingle on the Speedway, and then as much as he'd already pitted, they decided to bring him back in again, straighten out some of the sheet metal as we have a green flag on the Speedway.
All right, thanks, Dick. Kevin Harvick leading for the 7th time this year. And Larry, he has led more laps than any driver in NASCAR Busch Series competition.
And that all is part of why he's leading these points as well. Remember, every lap's lead is just one lap a race. It's 5 bonus points. If you lead the most laps, it's an extra 5 bonus points.
Tony Raines still looking good in the 33. Larry, I wonder, did he let Harvick go by him so he could follow him for a while, or just decided, I'm just going to pull it a little bit here?
Well, I got to believe this early in the race, his spotter, his crew chief, was telling him, look, Kevin Harvick looks like he's got a pretty fast race car. He keeps getting to the inside of it. You've led your lap. Let's get behind him. We don't want to get ourselves in trouble this early in the race. We need to finish another race, and we need another good finish.
Jeff Green lurking, we should say, back there in that yellow number 10, Larry.
He's always lurking.
He's got 8 starts at this racetrack, 2 poles. He's led 175 laps and has 4 top 5.
Everything but victory lane, right?
Everything but that. Best finish here, a 3rd. Take a look at Greg Biffle in the 5th position. Goes by David Donahue. And there's Bobby Hamilton Jr., the 26 right behind him. And then the 27 of McMurray draws up.
Now, David Donahue in the 25 car, he cut a right front tire down right before that caution came out. And he spent several laps on pit road. He's 4 laps down.
Murray in the 27, still looking for his first top 10. He replaced Casey Atwood in that number 27 at the beginning of the year. They've been a little disappointed with their performance.
Yeah, again, it's been kind of hit and miss. He's had a few good runs, but yeah, they've had a lot of disappointments this year.
Larry, how hard is it for a young driver and a team? We talked about Tony Raines finally closing well. You know, it's one thing to start well, you've got to close well.
Well, and that's something, you know, with the 2.5 years that I spent with the 31 team and Mike Skinner, that I was always concerned about. It's like we had a good starting pitcher. We could come out of the bullpen somewhere in the middle of the race and still do okay, but we never could close the deal at the end of the race. That's something that's hard to do, because keeping up with racetrack changes, making the right adjustments, something you have to do almost everywhere we race, it's hard to do.
You need that goose gossage coming out of the pen, closing that baseball game.
You got to have it. And Tony Raines, he's slipping back here. Jeff Green in the 10 car, Jason Keller in the 57 car. They've kicked him back to 4th position.
You know, Jason Keller, I watched him yesterday after he qualified, and he qualifies in row 2, and he's disappointed, Larry.
Well, that's the reason he's a champion. That's the reason he ran races. That's the reason he won the championship by as many points as he won it last year. You know, we talked about strategy. Again, all these guys elected to stay out on the racetrack, and I'm not surprised that they did it for tires, because you only get 2 sets of tires to change under caution. So like Randy LaJoie, he's got to run about 180 laps on the set of tires he has on the car right now, plus 1 more set. You can change all you want under green, but NASCAR says you only got 2 sets to change under caution.
Randy LaJoie there in the 7 car. He does have a victory on this racetrack, one here in 1996. Led 110 laps of competition.
And the fresh tires are working pretty well right now. Here he's racing the 54 car. That's Kelly Dent for the 24th position. He restarted way back in about 30th, so he's moving forward for those fresh tires. But the further you go to the front, the harder it gets to pass.
That's exactly right. Kevin Harvick continues to lead in that number 2 car. And, you know, Larry, he said, hey, you guys in the media are making too big a deal out of this double duty thing. I'm having fun. I'm getting on jets, flying back and forth. He said he likes it.
Well, let me tell you something. I did double duty this weekend, and I didn't have to drive a race car. Well, I may be looking good and sounding good, but I'm feeling a little tired, so there's more to this double duty. But I only had to make the trip once. He made the round trip twice. It's not an easy deal to do.
No, it's not, and his schedule is going to get pretty hairy coming up here in the summer months. You know, he's only 25 years old, but let's take a look at your schedule, Larry McReynolds.
Oh, me. I'm scared to look at it.
What time did you hit the rack last night?
It was about 3:30, 3:45, and you know, I think still excitement from the Winston. I couldn't go to sleep when I lay down.
It says right there, they seem kind of tired.
I bet I won't have to count many sheep tonight.
No, I don't think so. All right, we're working lap number 34 of 200 here at Nazareth. Kevin Harvick continues to lead. He's followed by Jeff Green and Jason Keller. You're watching NASCAR on FX.
Get inside the non-stop action on race weekend. Get inside the news and highlights. Get inside the teams, fans, and games. Only at the official site of NASCAR. NASCAR.com. America Online keyword NASCAR.
Come home to Windermere Apartments, a quality approach to apartment living designed for the active family lifestyle. Each detail is planned for better living for the entire family. Windermere's convenient location and abundant amenities offer the best of both worlds. With apartment homes starting at just $487, our quality facilities and professional services will provide you with peace of mind. Windermere Apartment Homes, bringing you to a new style of affordable living.
When you've been in a car accident, did you know Florida law requires your insurance company to pay your medical bills, even if it's the other guy's fault? Only if you suffered permanent injury will the other driver's insurance company consider paying for your pain and suffering. Hi, I'm attorney Robert Samartin. This can be a confusing time, and you're on the insurance company's playing field. Let our team make Florida's laws work for you. It's my job to get you the cash settlement or verdict you deserve. There's no fee unless I win your case, but I can't help you unless you call me at 209-9266.
I wasn't going to school because I was making money stealing cars. Well, I was 10 when I first got involved with drugs. I skipped school because, you know, nobody cared.
When I first got pregnant, school was not important to me, so I dropped out.
Well, if I don't finish school, then I can't go to college. I mean, that's the whole point of what I want to do with my life.
I still need to go to school to make it for myself.
I think I'm happier now. I know I'm happier now.
Son of the Beach, Tuesday. Special guest Jerry Springer unleashes a deadly virus. The Ebonic Plague.
Are you tripping?
Son of the Beach. All new episodes return Tuesday, May 29th at 10.
Kevin Harvick continuing to lead the Nazareth 200 in that number 2 car. He has led the most laps in 3 races this year, 86 laps at Bristol, 114 at Texas, and 165 at Loudon, although he didn't win. Let's go to Dick Bergeron.
And we're eavesdropping on the radio for Kevin Harvick and also for second place Jeff Green. Harvick is simply being told, be careful of the traffic. The business of closing at high speed on some of these poor cars is really beginning to bother Harvick and his crew. Meanwhile, Jeff Green's crew is telling him that Harvick is coming to him. The gap is narrowing. And he's also been told, wear him out, meaning wear Harvick out. Let's go to Jeff.
Well, Dick, all I can say right now is last week's winner, Jason Keller, is doing about the same thing as second place and teammate Jeff Green. He's very patiently just monitoring the guys out in front of him. Steve Addington and Jason have been talking. The car is just a little bit tight, but he says it's coming to him, and they're just very patiently trying to wear him down. And Steve Addington told Jason, it's a long, long way, guys. Just save your tires and be patient.
Jason Keller, just 30 years old, but that is one attribute that I really like about him, Larry. He is patient.
Yes, he is, and that's the reason he's been running at the end of so many races. I think he had quite a streak until he was involved in a wreck here just a few races ago, but that's the reason he's also in the points chase year in and year out.
7 top 10s, 4 top 5s on the season for Keller. Meanwhile, Tony Raines running in the 4th position, followed by Greg Biffle in 5th. I'm amazed, I think more than you are, Larry, that Biffle has made such a smooth transition. Not even a smooth transition, a great transition to this series.
Well, again, he's got a great race team behind him. Let's face it, even though there's a lot of different players, this is the race car that Mark Martin vacated that won so many Busch Grand National races in. So he didn't step into a bad ride by no means. He stepped into a great ride, but he brings a lot of talent. In the truck series, he was there every week. It didn't matter where they was racing. He was there, and he was up front leading races.
Larry, he was super aggressive in the truck series, and, you know, DW has described him as relentless. You think he's modified his style, if you will?
Well, I think he's done a great job at it. If he hadn't modified it, he would not be sitting 4th in points. That's a good telltale sign that he's figured out out the fine line there between aggressive and too aggressive.
Know when to hold them, know when to fold them.
Exactly. You got to do that in this series, especially here at a racetrack like Nazareth. We're going to hear it a lot today. Race the racetrack, race the element. Here, Kevin Harvick is racing lap traffic right now.
Going by the number 8 car of Jeff Falk.
You know, something we failed to mention, we may have talked about it. Yeah, he was here yesterday morning. He practiced. He qualified the car. But in final practice, he was on his way back to Charlotte. He did not really practice this car in race trim after qualifying. The car practiced. Mike Bliss practiced the race car for these guys.
It was funny, Larry, in the garage yesterday. As I said, NASCAR let those 3 guys qualify first, second, and third in the order they went out. And they literally ran to a van, as Kevin Harvick works traffic there, but they ran to a van. I mean, it was pretty hectic.
Oh, yes, and look how close 10 car Jeff Green has closed up onto him. Not because he's that much faster, lap traffic, catching the lap traffic in the right place. And Jason Keller, he's right on Jeff Green's bumper. Jason Keller in the 57 car.
At Nazareth, Jeff Green, as we said, has had great success, 4 top 5 finishes. Best finish is a 3rd. He wants to get in the victory lane today. Kevin Harvick leading, trying to go by rookie Larry Foyt. Jeff Green right behind him, Larry.
And Jason Keller right behind him. And lap traffic makes it very interesting.
We've completed 47 laps of 200 here in Nazareth. We'll be right back on FX.
Live from Lowe's Motor Speedway. Saturday, the Harvick-Biffle rivalry heats up in the Busch Series. Sunday, Gordon looks to overtake Jarrett in the Winston Cup.
Push in the middle down there. Okay, we'll get on it.
John Andretti appreciates the surgical precision of the technicians who keep his car running on the track and on the street. And he knows that the pros who work on family cars demand quality auto parts from CarQuest.
How is everything, John? Car's great, but my back hurts.
So now what, I'm your doctor?
CarQuest Auto Parts, the professional choice.
Secure, reliable connections, blazing fast logon times. When you're looking to get the most out of the internet, no one knows their way around the World Wide Web like AT&T WorldNet service.
Does anyone here at the Beef and Bird Barbecue Cook-Off use a gas grill?
No, we don't use gas for cook-offs.
Definitely want to use charcoal.
What's it take to win this thing?
The tape. Definitely the tape.
So what kind of charcoal do you guys use?
Kingsford.
Seriously?
100%.
Oh, Kingsford, definitely.
Does stuff grilled on Kingsford charcoal really taste better than stuff grilled on gas?
A proven fact. Just go around, ask everybody around here, and they'll tell you. Yeah, you get a better flavor out of it.
Kingsford, because taste is everything.
Give me Kingsford. You can keep the gas.
Oh, thanks a lot.
Present from me to you. Good morning, Mr. Morrison. How are we? Good. Let's have a look at your chart, shall we?
You know what I want for my birthday?
I want one of those lawnmowers you sit on.
What? Oh, that. It's nothing.
You'll be fine for a while.
What if doctors treated you?
Got at least 2 or 3 weeks before anything major happens.
The way you treat your car.
Pet Boys treats cars right. Save 10% off our already discounted deluxe preventative maintenance package.
Do you like monkeys?
All you need to know is where to go. Pet Boys.
Kevin Harvick still leading, but this isn't fair. I mean, Larry's only had about 2.5 hours of sleep, and I got to give him the trivia question. I'll go ahead anyways, Larry. Jeff Green and Kevin Harvick have 10 top 10 finishes in the first 12 Busch Series races this season. What is the record for the most top 10 finishes in a Busch Series season?
I take you're asking me, Daryl.
I'm asking you.
Oh, okay. I got to believe it was, I don't know the number, but I'm going to take a shot in the dark. It was Jeff Green last year.
That is incorrect. Do you remember the famous...
I need some help.
The famous Sam Ard.
Oh, I thought we was talking about modern day era.
That's modern.
Oh, okay.
That's modern.
Okay.
It's the beginning of the modern era.
It's not modern for me.
30 in 1983.
83. That's kind of modern.
Battle for 4th and 5th. Tony Raines in the 33. Greg Biffle in the 60. I believe Jeff Green had 23 of them last year. That's amazing.
Whatever it was a lot.
You know, Kenny Wallace has had an amazing weekend as we look at his windshield. Larry, on Friday, you noticed we were on the air that 27 truck had pulled in the garage area there at Charlotte. He said he was building a pitching machine for his daughters, and his cell phone went off. They said, hey, man, get to the racetrack. We're going to try and qualify for the Winston.
Yeah, I think he was calling it Kenny's Big Adventure.
Excellent.
But he qualified 10th. Now, unlike the 2-car of Kevin Harvick or the 26-car Bobby Hamilton Jr., they elected not to run this car in race practice yesterday without Kenny Wallace here to drive this race car. Now, even though Kenny has never won here, best finish for 3rd, his crew chief, Jarrett Cannon, has 2 wins here. 1989 with Bobby Hillin, and last year with Ron Hornaday. They like this race car. They ran this car 2 weeks ago at Richmond, last week at Loudon. This is the 3rd week in a row that they ran this race car.
Now, Kenny Wallace having a good season in that number 48 car. And let's update Ted Christopher, the 21. He's filling in for Mike Skinner. You know, his driving style is similar to Mike Skinner.
Very similar. Dick Bergman, what are they saying about the 21 car?
Well, he's doing a good job with it. What they are telling him, in essence, is let the car roll through the corner. Don't use quite so much brake. She has got a lot of experience on this racetrack in a modified. Indeed, he is on the pole for this afternoon's modified race here, but very little experience with these big, heavy cars. And you could just toss one of those modifieds around. Takes a lot more finesse here, and he told me this morning he does need to calm himself down, and he does need to roll with it. That's what the crew's telling him, too.
But you got to tip your hat not only to Ted Christopher, but to this race team. Richard Childress Racing, Gil Martin. Started the season with Mike Dillon. The last 6 races, Mike Skinner has been in that car, and out of 6 races, 5 top 10 finishes. Now, no longer is driver points an issue for this race team with their 3rd district driver, but in the owner points, which is very important. When Mike Skinner took the car over, they was like 29th in owner points after 6 races. Coming in here to Nazareth, they're in the top 10 in owner points. So the race team's doing their job, too.
Absolutely. Mike Skinner replacing Mike Dillon, we should add. I believe that took place at Nashville. Now, a little while ago, Greg Biffle in the 60 gets by Tony Raines in the 33.
Boy, look at Raines. He got loose, though, Steve. Got loose up off the corner. You seen him fighting that steering wheel, had to get back off the throttle. Biffle carries the momentum down the front stretch.
Yeah, and Biffle never hesitated, jumped right into that 4th position.
He took advantage of a situation.
Yes, he did. I heard DW saying last night in the Winston, you can't wait for an opening. You have to take a shot at a crack. You just can't wait.
Especially in the Winston. Maybe a little early here on lap 60 at Nazareth.
Yeah, right. Tell those guys that.
Yeah.
Kevin Harvick does continue to lead, followed by Jeff Green in the 10, Jason Keller in the 57, Biffle in that 60, Tony Raines in the number 33 car. Bobby Hamilton Jr., we should add, in the 6th position, followed by Jamie McMurray, Jimmy Johnson in the 92, Tim Fedewa is in that 9th position. Remember, he's won here twice. And the 37, Kevin Grubb.
It's a good solid run for Kevin Grubb. Started 12th, good qualifying effort, and he's up to 10th. We've got quite a battle right here. We got a conglomerate of race cars.
I like that word.
Conglomerate.
Yeah.
And the reason we got a conglomerate, these guys are trying to stay on the lead lap because Kevin Harvick, the leader, he's all over the back of these cars. Look at him, 3 wide. Kevin, you got to get back and run. It's too early to be doing that.
Oh, working lap traffic. 63, Shane Hall, he moves over. Clay Rogers, the 17, he gets out of the way. Harvick goes by Shane Hall. Jeff Green now trying to get by Hall.
We now have 22 cars on the lead lap. So here at lap 63, Kevin Harvick, Jeff Green, they're picking them up and laying them down, putting them a lap down.
The 54 car of Kelly Denton is, in fact, the last car on the lead lap. Kevin Harvick continues to lead the Nazareth 200. He's followed by Jeff Green and his teammate, Jason Keller. Hey, we'll be right back.
There's no place like home. There's no place like home.
For over 60 years, Owens Corning has been advancing the science of insulation, roofing, sound control, even home theaters. And everything we've learned, we've put into one very special place, your home. Owens Corning. We know homes.
You know, this is great.
part of the conversation. Go RVing. Life's a trip. Visit an RV dealer or call for a free video.
You like it fast? Get to your Goodyear retailer, where right now you get a $50 fast credit when you buy 4 selected tires on your Goodyear card account. That's $50 you'll save right on the spot. Qualifying tires include selected Goodyear Eagles, Goodyear Wranglers, and the new AquaTread 3. The $50 fast credit offer, only from Goodyear. For complete details from the retailer nearest you, call 1-800-GOODYEAR.
Sean fished the sea from dusk till dawn, leaving his skin tight and drawn. No ordinary soap he knew did what Irish Spring Aloe could do. Unlike some deodorant soaps, Irish Spring Aloe helps hold more moisture in, so your skin won't feel as tight and dry. Now, whenever Sean's ship is in, all the lasses of Inishmore want to touch his skin. Irish Spring Aloe cleans your skin, keeps moisture in.
Get inside the live racing action with RaceCast. Any driver, every lap. Only at NASCAR.com. America Online keyword, NASCAR.
Hey, next weekend we have a lot of racing in Charlotte, qualifying on Thursday night. Winston Cup qualifying. That's followed by the Goodies Dash race. On Saturday, these very same NASCAR Busch Series drivers in the CarQuest Auto Parts 300 will also have happy hour practice. And then next Sunday, it's NASCAR This Morning with John Roberts, and the Coca-Cola 600 will be on at 5 o'clock for that race.
For the Coca-Cola 600, the longest race the Winston Cup cars run, starts about 5:30 in the afternoon, sun's out, racetrack's hot, ends at night.
A moody racetrack. Let's go down to Jeff Hammond. He's got news on Tony Raines.
That's right, Steve. Talked to Michael Kaitalisic, crew chief on that car, and he says, hey, everything's going to be all right. The car's just a little bit what they call pushy loose. If you notice when he got past that last time, the car actually was so tight in the center, Tony was trying to turn it. He made it get loose coming up off the corner, which allowed the 60 car Biffle to get by him. He said first time they get a chance to come in, which they're predicting of the round of lap 100, if they don't have any cautions, they'll make that adjustment. Should get Tony back up to the front.
Jeff, I just saw Tony Raines wiggle coming off 4. You know, interesting at this racetrack, Larry, the pole sitter has only gone on to win once at 13 races. Elliott Sadler did that back in 1997.
Well, we're seeing that more and more, not only just in Busch, but in Winston Cup. I don't think a single pole sitter this year in Winston Cup has won a race that the fastest race car always wins a race.
Kevin Harvick is still leading. Starting to pull away a little bit from Jeff Green. Harvick, you know, he's another guy whose style you can describe as relentless. Talked about Greg Biffle. And so far today, those two have played nice. The 60 can't get to the two.
No, but Kevin Harvick, you're right. I mean, he drives the race car hard. Their driving styles, they remind me a lot. They get everything out of that race car. They can get every single, not only just race lap, you watch them in practice. They're out there they're on top of that wheel getting everything they can out of that race car.
Well, Kevin Harvick won that race in Atlanta earlier this season at the Winston Cup start. You know, Larry, when he pitted, I was working their pits. They didn't make many adjustments all day. They just kept slapping on tires, and he'd go out and drive the wheels off that thing.
And he's a calm driver for the most part. You monitor him, I monitor him. He don't say a whole lot on that radio. And you know, this guy, he has such a season going for him. A lot for the reasons that none of us wanted to see. But yes, he could win the Busch National Championship. He could win the Winston Cup Rookie of the Year, and he could very easily finish in the top 10 in Winston Cup driver points.
An important issue here also, Larry, and you know this so well. Yes, he is in good equipment. He's in Richard Childress' Busch car. You know, he's in Dale Earnhardt's car as well. But you have to get the job done. Great you're in great equipment. You got to get the job done.
You got to screw somebody down in that seat that can mash that gas and turn the steering wheel and do it all together.
And emotionally, Kevin Harvick, a young guy, just 25 years old, you know, that's an awful lot of pressure to put on anybody, much less an inexperienced driver.
But he's handling it as good as I believe anybody could handle it. And he had a complicated weekend. This weekend, it's going to get more complicated. Here in a few weeks, Winston Cup car at Pocono, Busch National car at Kentucky, on into July, Winston Cup car at Daytona Beach, Busch National car at Watkins Glen. It's going to get more complicated.
Yeah, then he's got Pikes Peak on July 28th, Pocono July 29th, and he'll also run Memphis October 13th, Martinsville October 14th. And, you know, DW's point is when it gets hot, that's when it's going to start wearing on him.
But he is young, and that could certainly help. And
he is in good shape.
Yes, he is.
Kevin Harvick has led 64 laps here at the Nazareth 200, 64 of 77, 20 cars on the lead lap. We've only had one caution for 4 laps. It came out when Bill Hoff in the 93 made contact with the wall. With Kevin Harvick continuing to lead, we'll take a quick break. We'll be back for the last 120 laps of the Nazareth 200.
Saturday on FX, it's a National League Central Division showdown. The Cardinals battle the Reds. FX Baseball Saturday at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific.
To the mountains of Busch Beer. Proud sponsor of the NASCAR Busch Series. Your car never nags. It never complains about how much time you spend with the guys. It thinks a little gas is a good thing. Here's to the perfect relationship.
All right, the number 99 Aaron's Dream Machine.
Oh, yeah, ain't she a beauty? Of course, she don't compare to the wife, though.
Really, these are the true Aaron's Dream Machines, the products we all dream about owning.
And at Aaron's, everyone's automatically pre-approved with no credit required?
Yeah, and you get the guaranteed lowest price, too.
So you can afford this awesome RCA 52-inch big screen TV with picture-in-picture, big speaker sound, and free screen protectors.
And I'm really pre-approved?
That's right. So let Aaron's drive your dreams home today.
Introducing new Armor All Protectant Wipes. Armor All Shine and Protection, now in a wipe.
Hank Parker Jr. drives number 36 for the GNC Live Well Racing Team.
How's it feel, Hank? Feels pretty good.
GNC Mega Man Premium Multivitamins help Hank fine-tune his nutritional intake.
Bring it in. I think we got something that can make it a little better. All right.
Are we ready? Oh, yeah, we're ready.
What are you doing for your body?
That's for the car, right?
Live well with GNC, the official vitamin store of NASCAR.
Kevin Harvick has led 69 of 82 laps here at Nazareth. You know, Larry, we want to talk about Bobby Hamilton Jr. riding in the 6th position. I interviewed him Friday when we were doing qualifying for the Winston Open in Charlotte, and I said, man, you're 23 years old, you've grown up watching racing, and here you are with the biggest stars in the sport. Are you nervous? And he said, yeah, man, I felt like I wanted to puke.
And every time I talk to him, I still look at him and say, you sure you're old enough to be driving a race car? But, yeah, I mean, the thing that's different from him and Kenny Wallace, Kevin Harvick has known for several months what their schedule is going to be. Bobby Hamilton Jr. didn't find out till the middle of the week. And, of course, we heard him in the pre-race talk about the World 600, the longest race. Even though it cools down right under the light, that's 900 miles he's going to try to run next weekend. So he's young, but he better be young. He better be ready for doing this.
Bobby Hamilton Jr. came in here 17th in the points, but he's just 123 points out of the 10th position.
He's one of those cars that their whole team, they qualify good each week. They've had some good runs. They've kind of, at times, had trouble. We talked about it earlier with Tony Raines, getting that closer in them, being there the first, middle, and end of the race, and combining it all together on one given day.
Yeah, he sat on the pole at California, but finished 14th, and you're right, they just haven't put the whole package together.
And when they put it together, you better look out. Just like we're having to keep a close watch on Tony Raines right now.
Kevin Harvick still leading, but Jeff Green's not that far back, Larry. Bobby Hamilton Jr.'s crew wants him to get up into the mix, and we'll find out right ahead.
Experience all the action of America's favorite spectator sport at Dover Downs International Speedway. Beginning Friday, June 1st, the top trucks roar into Dover Downs with the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series MBNA E-Cars 200. Saturday, June 2nd, the MBNA Platinum 200 Busch Grand National rips up the Monster Mile. Then Sunday, June 3rd, the Winston Cup Series screams into Dover Downs in the MBNA Platinum 400. The hottest cars, the biggest stars, 7,000 new seats. 3 incredible days, June 1st through 3rd. Get tickets online now at doverdowns.com or call 1-800-441.
Ours has been installing satellite systems for about 5 years now.
With the satellite, you have to pay for each individual package.
If you have inclement weather, it throws the dish out.
I switched to Time Warner Digital Multimedia because it's very reliable.
Call today to upgrade to Time Warner Digital Multimedia with over 225 channels and digital quality picture and sound.
That's the main reason why we switched from the dish to cable, because it's just less of a hassle. It's always there, and it's always clear, and it always sounds good.
The NASCAR 2001 Craftsman Truck Series is back. Are you ready to trade paint? Well, these guys are. So tune in and catch all the action on ESPN and ESPN2. The NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series is brought to you locally by Bill Curry Ford. We're having a great day at Bill Curry Ford. Richard Mulholland and Associates, protecting your rights. And Gator Ford, home of the good-looking reptile.
I see in your future a journey to a wonderful place of mystery and imagination, where you'll find wizards and dragons and knights of the kingdoms, encounter role-playing and card games of all types for all ages, experience a world of new age and metaphysical materials, and collect fantastic anime, comic books, and toys from faraway lands. Let Merlin's books bring fantasy into your awareness. Experience the realm of Merlin's books.
Indians, Yankees, or Dodgers, Astros. Fox Saturday Baseball returns June 2nd.
Kevin Harvick has led 78 laps now out of 200. Second and third place still occupied by Jeff Green and Jason Keller. Larry, are we starting to look at pit stops?
Well, we've got to be. We're at lap 91. It's going to be interesting in this next 9 laps to see who comes to pit road. And right now, David Green in the 34 car, he seems to be the first one on pit road. And who waits to close to lap to 100? They go close to lap 100. We know they're the ones that maybe can make it, should it stay green, the rest of the way without stopping. Everybody should be coming to pit road, 4 tires, full of fuel. That's going to be important. Get that car full of fuel. Long pit road here, and you just got to make sure to have a good solid stop. 35 miles an hour on pit road. It takes a long time. You'll go a couple laps down here just making the pit stop under green.
Keith Plaza, Robert Valentis changing tires. I can't get out of the habit of calling those pit crew guys names. And wasn't that neat last night when they introduced all the over-the-wall guys to the Winston Cup teams? That was awesome.
Well, obviously, the whole crew for those race teams. Talk about Jeff Gordon's crew again. Unloads that backup car. Yeah, Jeff Gordon did a well of a job on that racetrack, but that group didn't panic, unloaded that backup car. They made the big difference. Looks like Ted Christopher in the 21 car, he's going to be coming to pit road. Now, what's going to be interesting, that's Kevin Harvick's teammate. How much longer will Kevin Harvick be able to stay out there? Will he be able to make this race on one stop, should it stay green?
Let's go down to Dick Bergeron.
Well, here comes Teddy Christopher in, the first of the guys who have a legitimate shot to really win this thing. Christopher, in his biggest day ever in this series, this is the best ride he has ever had. He is hoping to turn it into something a whole lot more. His crew, a very experienced crew, doing a 4-tire change, hoping that this set's going to be the set that'll take Christopher to victory in a 15.6. Here comes the 10 car as well. Jeff Green, who has been running in second place most of this day. His car has been a little bit loose going in. He stops well into the back end of his pit to give himself plenty of room to pull out if he has got to do that, and someone parks in front of him. Meanwhile, Harvick's guys are also ready. Harvick has led most of the race today. Let's go to Jeff.
That's right, Dick. Right now, we're looking at Jason Keller's crew. They're down and put 4 tires on. They sprung into action. Jackman back around the car real quickly. Had a little bit of problem on the left front. Back to you, Dick.
Harvick is in. He's a little bit tight. right from the middle out. He has led most of the going today, but let's remember that last week in New Hampshire, he led more laps than anybody. And it was a pit stop decision. 2 tires instead of 4 that wound up costing him the race. Today on this stop, it's 4 tires, 16-8 for Harvick.
Greg Biffle also making his way to pit road. The 26 of Bobby Hamilton Jr. getting service.
Now, one thing that's unique about this pit road, they have an access road that comes off turn 3. They have to go on. They can't come right off on turn 4. Jeff Hammond.
You see Greg Biffle bringing his car down pit road. Randy Goss called out and said, get 5 points and let's hit pit road, get 4 tires. If you notice something else, Larry McReynolds, a lot of brake dust also. As I see this car, as they come around the car here and get ready to put 4 tires. We look down also to the 33 cars making a track bar adjustment right now on the right side of their car. As we said earlier, he's extremely tight right in the center, and those guys are trying to get the job done. They're having trouble with the left rear. This is going to be a slow stop. This is going to really mean cause a disaster for our whole center, Tony Ray.
Yeah, just can't give up that much time on a green flag stop. You see him leaving here pit road. Again, this is access road going out. You won't come back on the racetrack to all the way around there turn 2. If you happen to miss the access road and stay on the racetrack and cut across the grass, it's a 1-lap penalty. Tim Fiedel in the 66, he had inherited the lead, but he's on pit road at lap 90 as well. Here he's on that access road coming to pit road. Pit road speed starts right there. There you see, they really take as much advantage as they can getting to pit road till they hit that pit road speed.
Tim Fiedel started in the 11th position, had worked his way inside the top 10. We told you at the start of the race, Tim Fiedel, the only Busch Series driver to win more than 1 race. Let's go to Jeff Hammond.
Again, who brings Tim Fiedel, a former winner. He brings her down into the pit road. His crew goes to work. I mean, those guys right now, they know that this right here is what's going to be the difference whether they win or lose. They made a quick adjustment to the wedge, it looked like on that particular car. Now they're back around the left side, and I'm telling you right now, that Jack man, if he doesn't hustle around, this stop's going to be slow, and it looked pretty good. 17.5, a good stop for Tim Fiedel. He's away.
Jeff, Jimmy Johnson pulled in just behind Fiedel, or pulled onto the racetrack just behind him. Elton Sawyer in the 98 also making a stop.
And we just crossed the halfway point, lap 100. Kevin Grubb in the 37 car had inherited the lead. He's on pit road, and that gives the lead to Jeff Purvis in the 18 car. Kevin Grubb, 35 miles an hour, to attention of his pit crew. Now again, Kevin Grubb, Jeff Purvis, these guys, that tells me they can go the distance on what they've got. Jeff Hammond, how about Kevin Grubb?
Larry, early on, if you remember, I think they came in and made a little adjustment to his car. It looks like he's coming in here, slides to a stop. Again, his crew just goes, springs and works, right front guy. The one thing I'm noticing on all these cars, Larry, the brake dust, excessive brake dust. These guys have been out there under sustained green flag conditions, and they're using a lot of brake here. That may be an issue before the end of the day.
Yeah, I saw a lot of brake opening to cool the brakes. Again, you pull a pretty high gear here. You carry a lot of speed getting down into these corners, especially turn 3 and turn 1. Hard on the brake, a lot of brake usage. Now, Jeff Purvis, he's on pit road, lap 102. Again, I called Doug Richard the fuel mileage king because 2 of the last 3 Busch races, they've been working a fuel mileage strategy.
And remember in California, he and Hank Parker went a long way. Let's go to Dick.
Yeah, Purvis went 124 miles in California, and he has already gone 102 laps. He'll have no problem making the second half of this race. Purvis now on pit road. Shane Westenberg is going to change front tires. Dave Hansen on the back. Westridge in the back end, 2 rounds in the left rear. Gas man Jim Gilbert. Purvis running some RPM. The exchange of gas cans is complete. Purvis so far slow on the front, very slow on the front of the car. 18 flat. The key was they wanted to get every bit of gas in. That is why they were slow. They waited for the gas man, Jim Gilbert. He has got a full load of fuel. Purvis, who knows? He might win the race on this strategy.
Well, they pitted at lap 102, but remember, 5 of those laps was under caution, and 2 caution laps equal like 1 green flag lap. Should it stay green, that means he's going to have to run 98 green flag laps. But guess who's leading the race?
We talked about it, Randy LaJoie.
And we know he's going to make a pit stop here in probably about 10 or 15 laps, and he can go the distance. The problem, before the leaders pitted, he was only 3 seconds in front of the leaders from being lapped.
Randy LaJoie won here in 1996, but right now it's Kevin Harvick having his way. You're watching the Nazareth 200 on FX.
100 miles. 191 miles per hour. One network. Summer heats up as Winston Cup changes Michigan forever.
Gordon, Stewart, Jarrett, Wallace.
Reigning champ Tony Stewart tries to hold off an all-star field in the shadow of Motown. Winston Cup Racing live from Michigan, Sunday, June 10th, only on FX.
Cheez-It, made with real cheese.
In a race car like mine, the oil tank is right behind the seat. When the oil gets hot, you know about it. In California, the oil temp gauge is pegged at 340 degrees. Normal's around 220. And heat's coming off the oil tank behind the seat, burning your back. Man, you wonder if you're even going to make it to the finish. But Mobil 1 never gave up. Other oils, they might have cooked. Instead, what got cooked was me. I love winning. But doing it this way, man, I tell you, like my crew chief said on the radio, we owe this one to Mobil 1.
Randy LaJoie in that number 7 car is your leader. Kevin Harvick, who has led a lot of this race, 84 laps, is in second. Now, LaJoie is a story why?
Well, he's on pit road, and this is going to be part of the story. The only reason he's going to be a part of the story, should we stay green the rest of the way, we know this would be his final pit stop. He's got problems coming on the pit road trying to get around the 8 car of Jeff Falk here. Cost him a lot of time coming to pit road.
LaJoie said, I'm not waiting for you, son. I'm going through the grass.
It's wide open till you get to the entrance of pit road. Dick Berger.
Surprise here is that they are planning to make this a 2-tire stop rather than a 4-tire stop. They are, of course, pitting under the green flag, but then again, so has everybody else pitted under the green flag. Indeed, 13-9, there goes LaJoie. Not the best stop for just 2 tires.
All right, thanks very much, Dick. Randy LaJoie adhering to the pit road speed. That means Kevin Harvick now has the lead.
And the real story there is his guys, they got him off pit road very fast. Jeff Green got caught up in traffic. He was about 3 or 4 seconds behind Kevin Harvick when he got back on the racetrack up to speed. And then Jeff Green got caught up in traffic. He lost over a second and a half in about 3 laps. Right now, he's over 6 seconds behind Kevin Harvick.
Kevin Harvick back in front of Jeff Green, Jason Keller, Greg Biffle, and Tony Raines rides 5th. You're watching the Nazareth 200 on FX.
The stars of Dawson's Creek, Mad TV, Sabrina, and Whose Line Is It Anyway show up to take the test with Jillian Barbery. The test, this week, weeknights at 11 on FX.
Trucks. Tougher than any panty-waist car. Hey, no one ever wrote a song about his first hatchback. The only thing better than trucks is racing trucks. So we're the official tools of the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. Craftsman. Make a Craftsman purchase, receive a game piece, and you could win a NASCAR Fantastic Fan Garage. Loaded with everything from a Samsung HD TV to cool Craftsman stuff.
The Home Depot is driving down the cost of home improvement. Don't put off the project. Put off the payments. Now through May 31st, put 0 down, make 0 payments with 0 interest for 6 full months on any Home Depot consumer credit card purchases totaling $250 or more. So whether you've got big plans or little plans, make plans now to come to the Home Depot. It's only for a limited time, and it's another first in home improvement.
Sean fished the sea from dusk till dawn, leaving his skin tight and drawn. No ordinary soap he knew did what Irish Spring Aloe could do. Unlike some deodorant soaps, Irish Spring Aloe helps hold more moisture in, so your skin won't feel as tight and dry. Now whenever Sean's ship is in, all the lasses of Inishmore want to touch his skin. Irish Spring Aloe cleans your skin, keeps moisture in.
I don't know if this is such a good idea. Come on, we only have a few more miles to go. I just don't feel right.
What if people treated you the way you treat your car?
Oh, suck it up!
up. Let's go. Let's go.
At Pep Boys, we treat cars right with a wide selection of tires, like 55,000-mile touring tires, 4 from just $159.
Okay, it's feeling better.
Good.
It's numbing out.
That's normal.
All you need to know is where to go. Pep Boys.
Welcome back to Nazareth. The caution flag flying for the second time. It was unfurled on lap 116. The good news is there aren't any torn up race cars. The bad news is there's debris on the racetrack. Who does this help, Larry?
But the story is strategy. Kevin Harvick, that group, they put all but 10 cars down a lap. Now, we know that the top 10 cars that's on the lead lap, all of those guys pitted early enough that we knew they had to pee on pit road one more time. Now, pit road was closed that time by, I got to believe with only 10 cars on the lead lap, those guys will come to pit road and build the insurance that should we stay green, that they can go the distance. Now, 2 cars we know that didn't have to stop, Randy LaJoy and Jeff Purvis in particular, they're a lap down. Maybe they can stay at the front. Randy LaJoy, he should be able to line up in front of the pack, get that lap back should we get another quick caution. I don't know if he's got a fast enough race cars, especially with 2 tires, to get his lap back.
And I don't know if anybody's going to catch Kevin Harvick anyways.
Pit road is open, and they are coming to pit road. Kevin Harvick, Jeff Green, Jason Keller. Again, reason being, they've only been out there about 16 or 18 laps, is to get those tanks full of fuel. We may only see gas and go. We may possibly see 2 tires put on.
What would you do, Larry?
I believe I'd put 2 tires on and fill that thing up with fuel.
Let's go to Dick Berger. Dick?
Well, Kevin Harvick is going to make a tire change, and what they are going to do is try and adjust the pressures so they are essentially identical to the pressures he had when he started the race. Meanwhile, the 10-car Green has had to go around Kevin Harvick in order to get into his pit stall, and he had made the decision along with his crew that no matter what Harvick did, he was going to come in for 4 tires. Remember, these guys get 2 sets of tires for this race under caution. This is the first real caution flag change that we have seen. The depth. Wow, Harvick's gone.
Bobby Hamilton Jr. comes in and makes this pit stop right here. His car is still too tight. They're also making adjustments on the 57 car of Jason Keller. His car is down and away. They made 4 tires on it. 33 of Tony Raines. Again, he's still tight in the center. They're making track bar adjustments on that car on the left-hand side. As we look here at Bobby Hamilton Jr., making an adjustment on the windshield, getting it clean. He's down and away. And Jimmy Johnson comes roaring past.
So how's this all going to shake out, Larry Mack?
Well, what I was trying to figure out is how many of those 10 cars came to pit road. I know I saw at least 8 of them.
McMurray also came in the 27. He was running in the 8th position.
No matter what, it's going to get interesting.
And we're going to find out how it plays out right after this.
Just a do-it-yourselfer.
Just completed the shutters and the siding.
I had the best installation. Time Warner set it up for you. They test it. The work that they do is absolutely perfect.
Call today to upgrade to Time Warner Digital Multimedia with over 225 channels and digital quality picture and sound.
I get the best sound, best picture. The reason I don't have a satellite dish is it ruins the looks of the house. I have Time Warner. That's all I need.
Spring into a new car here at Bill Curry Ford.
Is it true if they buy a new Focus, you'll pay their first 3 months payment?
Yes, and you can lease a 2001 Ford Taurus for only $289 a month, or lease a 2001 F-150 with AC, automatic, and convenience group for only $289 a month. If you come in and buy or lease a new Ford Ranger, we'll give you a free bed liner and bug shield.
And we still give you a minimum $2,000 for your trade. Now let's talk about a pre-owned
Sorry,
selection.
we don't have time. Come on in to Bill Curry Ford today.
Here at Bill Curry Ford, we've been doing things right for over 40 years.
Serious accidents require serious legal help. With a team of lawyers on your side, insurance companies have their lawyers, and you need yours. Call the law office of Richard Mulholland and Associates. Richard Mulholland has over 39 years of experience representing injured people, and only injured people. Our team will work hard to settle your case. Call today for your free consultation at Richard Mulholland and Associates, We only represent accident victims, just like you.
Son of the Beach. Tuesday, it's Good Johnson versus Evil Johnson.
That's really hard to swallow.
Son of the Beach. All new episodes return Tuesday, May 29th at 10.
Greg Biffle is leading the Nazareth 200, followed by Tim Fedewa. Now, Larry, let's work this all out for the fans.
Well, we had 10 cars on the lead lap. We had 3 of those cars that elected not to pit. Greg Biffle in the 60 car, Tim Fedewa in the 66, and Rich Bickle in the 59. Now, since that caution came out on lap 115, we're going to go back racing here at lap 120. That's 5 caution laps. The same amount of caution laps we ran in that first 100 laps. Now, Biffle and Bickle was on pit road at lap 96. That's 104 laps to go. But the guy we're going to watch, Tim Fedewa, he was on pit road at lap 99. I feel good that they can go the distance.
Let's check in with Jeff Hammond. Jeff?
Guys, early on in the race, Greg Biffle called in and told his crew chief, hey, if I can ever get this thing to the front, I can leave out of here. I believe I got a car I can win the race with. Well, they finally got him to the front, and they said, hey, we got enough gas. I'm where I want to be. Leave me alone. Randy Goss called him back and said, well, then use patience, be smooth, and drive your own race, and everything will fall in place.
So, Jeff, they feel like they can go the distance, even though they was on pit road on lap 96 is what I'm hearing.
Randy Goss feels like that what he saw as far as coming in, he was coming in on like lap 96. There was enough fuel left as far as the mileage is concerned to get him the rest of the distance as far as the 3 laps that were coming up short.
There's no question, with only 18 laps on those tires, I like being at the front of the pack as long as I know I got enough fuel in the tank.
Larry, and I just saw, too, Tim Fedewa got sideways, and we have a car in the wall. The 48 of Kenny Wallace has hit very hard. Caution will come out again on lap 121.
They just had a lengthy pit stop with that car. The car was hung in gear, and they got it hung out of gear and put him way back in the pack. Now, here's Tim Sauter in the 61 car. He's going to try to get one of his 2 laps back. So does Jeff Purvis. He gets his lap back.
And, Larry, I was just about to finish saying Fedewa got squirrely, got real loose coming off 4 and looked up in the 48. Well, look at the damage to that car. Kenny Wallace in the wall hard.
That was a hard hit.
See if we can see exactly what happened to Kenny Wallace in that 48 car, Larry.
Remember, he was deep in the field. The car gets a little sideways in front of him. That looked like Mike McLaughlin. Boy, he hits that wall hard. You just can't. I mean, that's almost like a straight-on hit.
Had a big old head of steam when he went into the wall. Don't know if he got help from behind.
Just seen some cars had to check up because of Mike McLaughlin. Looked like he got a little squirrely and had to get out of the throttle. But there's the best sign in the world. Steering wheel up on the dash and wind the net down.
Well, one thing about it, Larry, you can go home with your feelings hurt. You know, tomorrow you'll be okay. The good thing is he's healthy, looks healthy.
Got one of the head and neck restraint devices on. You see it wrapped around his chest there and over his shoulders. Boy, he's had, again, Kenny's big adventures. It's just not going to end very nice.
You know, they didn't find out until 1 o'clock in the afternoon on Friday that Geico was, in fact, going to sponsor him for the Winston Open. They hustled up, got the truck down there, and Kenny said, you know, I drove up here like a hillbilly to the mecca of speed, the Lowe's Motor Speedway there in Charlotte. But, boy, just an amazing adventure. He said we could make a movie of his life this season. I think we have an in-car view. Don't know if I want to look.
Coming off turn 4, down the front straightaway, you saw Mike McLaughlin in 20 get squirrely there. Boy, you just almost got to believe he got some help from behind.
Yeah,
didn't see anything going on in front of him.
This is out of the 20 car of Mike McLaughlin.
Wow. Boy, I don't know. I think it's Jamie McMurray in the 27 car, but I'm not completely sure he did anything really wrong.
No, I mean, they definitely made contact, the 27 and the 48, but it looked almost as though Kenny Wallace cut across his bow, Larry. Jamie was holding his line. Well, we're working caution for the third time this afternoon. We'll get the racetrack cleaned up and come back for the completion of the Nazareth 200.
It's 2 days of NASCAR action on FX. Thursday is Winston Cup qualifying at 7, followed by Goodies Dash. Then Saturday it's Happy Hour, 3:30 Eastern, only on FX.
Smooth and refreshing as a mountain stream. Bush. Head for the mountains of Bush beer.
Never once did your car ask you for jewelry or flowers. Never once did it ask you if it looks fat, or did it get mad at you for leaving the seat up. Your car always gives you exactly what you want. Doesn't it deserve something special in return?
Change the light, change the mood. Sylvania, brilliant light.
You like it fast? Get to your Goodyear retailer, where right now you'll get a $50 fast credit when you buy 4 selected tires on your Goodyear card account. That's $50 you'll save right on the spot. Qualifying tires include selected Goodyear Eagles, Goodyear Wranglers, and the new AquaTread 3. The $50 fast credit offer, only from Goodyear. For complete details from the retailer nearest you, call 1-800-GOODYEAR.
Good.
NASCAR on FX is brought to you by Smooth Bush Beer and easy drinking Bush Light. Bush, the proud sponsor of the NASCAR Bush Series.
We're under caution for the third time this afternoon. There you see Kenny Wallace's car, hard contact into the wall. Lap 121 is when the caution came out. Let's take a look at what happened again, Larry.
This is going to be looking out the back of Mike McLaughlin's car. Coming off turn 4 here. This is coming down the front stretch. You're going to see him wiggle right here. He gets loose, jumps up in the high groove. See, there he wiggles up in the high groove from a Jamie McMurray, the 27 car. Now, Kenny Wallace is to the bottom here. Right here. Now, they're going to make contact, but, boy, I can't say Jamie McMurray went down on him in the 27 car.
Yeah, I don't want to place blame on anyone. They definitely made contact, but hard to tell.
Well, we've talked about that corner. Jeff Hammond talks about that corner. That's a tricky corner. You're running so fast, you get on the brake, then you're almost making a 90-degree turn.
Track workers continuing to get this racetrack race ready. We have completed 126 of 200 laps. Greg Biffle is leading.
You started saving for your kids' college education before they were born. Your wife still thinks of you as her knight in shining armor. And the neighbors know your door is always open. So it comes as no surprise that you choose auto parts that meet the highest standards in the industry. AC Delco. When the right way is the only way. Visit a location that features AC Delco automotive parts.
Oh, Becky, look. There's the Big Dipper, and there's Orion.
Daddy,
Uh-huh.
who turns off the stars at night?
Nobody. They're on all night.
So how come we never see them from home?
Discover the world through a new set of eyes. Go RVing. Visit an RV dealer or call for a free video.
Oh, right. The number 99 Aaron's Dream Machine.
Oh, yeah, ain't she a beauty? Of course, she don't compare to the wife, though.
Really, these are the true Aaron's Dream Machines, the products we all dream about owning.
And at Aaron's, everyone's automatically pre-approved with no credit required?
Yeah, and you get the guaranteed lowest price, too.
so you can afford this awesome RCA 52-inch big screen TV with picture-in-picture, big speaker sound, and free screen protector.
And I'm really pre-approved? That's right. So let Aaron's drive your dreams home today.
Hank Parker Jr. drives number 36 for the GNC Live Well Racing Team.
How's it feel, Hank? Feels pretty good.
GNC Mega Man Premium Multivitamins help Hank fine-tune his nutritional intake.
Bring it in. I think we got something that can make it a little better. All right.
Are we ready?
Oh, yeah, we're ready.
What are you doing for your body?
That's for the car, right?
Live well with GNC, the official vitamin store of NASCAR.
Get inside the official gear of NASCAR. Apparel, collectibles, and more. Only at NASCAR.com. America Online keyword, NASCAR.
2 drag strips and 2 U-turns.
We'll just put some bleachers out in the sun and have it on Highway 61.
They do 177 mile an hour on a 1-lane highway. With turns.
Then he said, yes, I think it can be easily done. Just take everything down to Highway 61.
Looks just like being on the interstate trying to pick the right lane through that traffic jam, except at 190 miles an hour.
We're working heavy traffic here at Nazareth. Let's go down to Dick Bergen with Kenny Wallace.
Kenny, we were glad to see you walk out of that thing. What happened?
Man, first of all, I want to give everybody my excuse while I was back there. We were running about 9th there and made that green flag pit stop, and the car was hung up in 4th gear. I was beating it, banging it, couldn't get it out of force, so lost a lot of time and got down a lap there. And I don't know, I know what happened. You used to explain. I'm a good racer, so we just got together going through the trial. Well, they're tight headquarters basically, and it was on film. Y'all seen it. I mean, it was just tight. It was nobody's fault.
Such a hard hit. Yeah. How did you get out of that thing without getting hurt somehow?
Right here, I want to thank Richard Childress Racing. Everybody's seen on the Winston last night, Bobby Hutchins at Richard Childress Racing. He designed that, and it hooks onto the helmet here and keeps you from, snapping your stem out of your head. So I'm okay. Just pride's hurt. I don't like wrecking.
No, and he doesn't wreck all that often either. Let's go to Jeff.
Yeah, that's right, Dick. And as Kenny said, hey, it was racing, but Jamie Murray did call in and tell his crew that when he got down into the corner, that Kenny got on the brakes a little bit too hard, and he couldn't do anything about it. And he did get into him. He was sorry about it. But as I say, it's close racing here at Nazareth, and sometimes that does happen.
Well, close quarters racing, as Kenny Wallace said. Greg Biffle is the leader. Tim Speedowa is second. Kevin Harvick is third. Rich Bickle fourth. And Jeff Green fifth. We're closing in on the end of the 200.
It's an all-new Son of the Beach. Tuesday, it's Good Johnson versus Evil Johnson.
That's really hard to swallow.
Son of the Beach. All new episodes return Tuesday, May 29th at 10.
Americans love power. And they love their high-performance Briggs & Stratton engines. That's why just about every neighborhood in America is a Briggs & Stratton neighborhood. Briggs & Stratton. The power that works for you.
Cheese-It, made with real cheese.
You like it fast? Get to your Goodyear retailer, where right now you'll get a $50 fast credit when you buy 4 selected tires on your Goodyear card account. That's $50 you'll save right on the spot. Qualifying tires include selected Goodyear Eagles, Goodyear Wranglers, and the new AquaTread 3. A $50 fast credit offer, only from Goodyear. For complete details from the retailer nearest you, call 1-800-GOODYEAR.
How's it going, Stim?
Pretty good.
If we could just move that fun cake and a couple more macaroons, I think we can ship that package to the suburbs.
Good. Here's another one.
Good. Cookie?
Your small business shouldn't need its own small business to pay for shipping. For tools to help avoid unexpected surcharges, manage your bottom line, and meet customer demand, check out USPS.com.
June 2nd, it's the return of Fox Saturday Baseball as Juan Gonzalez looks to continue his torrid start for the Indians against Derek Jeter and the defending world champion Yankees. Or two National League powers collide when Gary Sheffield and the Dodgers battle Jeff Bagwell and the Astros, or other regional action. Watch the entire baseball season unfold across the Fox networks. Let's go to Jeff Hammond, our slugger.
Well, Steve, sometimes you like to say, do you feel lucky? Well, Randy Goss, you guys made a pretty gutsy call right there. How things look?
Well, I don't know how they're looking. We'll see how it plays out. We're close on gas mileage, so these cautions are helping us. We're about the same. The top 5 cars are all about the same speed. So that's the only way we thought we could get in front of those guys. So we'll see how it plays.
Well, early on in the race, we heard you guys talking, and it said that, hey, if we ever could get in the front, I think we'll be okay. And you're there now, but a few seconds ago, I thought NASCAR was going to put you to the back of the field for starting too soon.
Yeah, we jumped the start a little bit just because there's so much buildup on the outside of the track here. We're trying to get on the bottom and not wreck our car.
Tough little racetrack, isn't it?
It's tough. It's a driver's racetrack, and Greg's been really focused today, so he's up on it.
Well, good luck the rest of the way.
Boy, you talk about chemistry. Randy Goss, Greg Biffle. Randy was Greg's crew chief in the truck series and won the championship, won a bunch of races. So chemistry right from the beginning this year. Big plus for Greg Biffle going into this first year in Busch Grand National.
Yeah, good point, Larry. And I think we mentioned earlier, Greg Biffle won a truck race here from the pole in 1999.
Yes, he did. So he knows how to win here. But, yeah, I think now, I want to set it up. They pitted on lap 96. Since they pitted, we have had 15 caution laps. Now 16. That's like buying 8 laps. So I feel that if they run 96 laps the first time, the more cautions they run, the safer they get. But I feel like they're more than safe.
We've had 3 cautions, the most recent coming out on lap 121 when Kenny Wallace hit the wall hard, but he's okay. Greg Biffle trying to nail down his second win of the season.
The stars of Dawson's Creek, Mad TV, Sabrina, and Whose Line Is It Anyway show up to take the test with Jillian Barbary. The Test, this week, weeknights at 11 on FX.
If you could use some help, Labor Ready makes finding it easy. Just call 1-800-24-LABOR or go to laborready.com. Order anytime, the day before or an hour before. No interviewing, no paperwork, no hassles. And with over 800 offices across the U.S. and Canada, there's a Labor Ready near you. You can find good help these days. Labor Ready. Dependable temporary labor.
In the battle against athlete's foot, you gotta have boom, tough-acting Tenactin. Tenactin pump spray is clinically proven to stop the severe itching and burning of athlete's foot. Tenactin is so tough it even prevents athlete's foot. So get boom, tough-acting Tenactin.
I no longer have to rush home or be at home at a certain time to watch my favorite shows.
With TiVo, you tell it what program you want to watch, you press a button, and it's done.
TiVo records things automatically for me by my selecting a season pass.
And it will record them whenever they come on, even if they change time.
With TiVo, you're in control of what you're watching.
It's magic.
Learn more at TiVo.com or visit these retailers.
Introducing new Armor All Protectant Wipes. Armor All Shine and Protection now in a wipe.
Sean fished the sea from dusk till dawn, leaving his skin tight and drawn. No ordinary soap he knew did what Irish Spring Aloe could do. Unlike some deodorant soaps, Irish Spring Aloe helps hold more moisture in, so your skin won't feel as tight and dry. Now whenever Sean's ship is in, all the lasses of Inishmore want to touch his skin. Irish Spring Aloe cleans your skin, keeps moisture in.
The green flag has just been waved on lap 134. It's Greg Biffle leading, Tim Speedowa, Kevin Harvick in the 2, and Rich Bickle in the 59. Jeff Green rides 5th.
And the goal of those top 3 was to get by that lap car of Ashton Lewis, who started on the inside, and they accomplished it before they got over to turn 2.
Take a look at what happened on the restart. Donahue in the 25 gets into the back of Kelly Denton in the 54.
But it's like cars in front of Kelly Denton didn't go, so he couldn't go.
Right. No caution. Greg Biffle, the 2000 NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series champion, trying to nail down his second win of the year. He won in Nashville on April 14th. It's just his 10th Busch Series start.
And right now, he's got clear racetrack. His car's working good. He's got almost a second lead over Tim Speedowa. Going to be over Kevin Harvick here in a second. Kevin Harvick keeps working that inside of Tim Speedowa. I believe he's a little faster, but this racetrack is so hard to pass.
Watching out of through the windshield of Kevin Harvick's number 2 car. He draws up on Tim Speedowa.
Harvick loses. He's going to outdrive him into turn 3 right here. He's going to outbrake him and carry it down in there, and he takes position. He knew he could not mess around much longer because he lost 4/10 of a second the last lap to Greg Biffle.
Greg Biffle able to stretch his lead as Harvick gets by the 66 of Tim Speedowa for second.
The best friend Greg Biffle had for a few laps was Tim Speedowa.
Exactly.
We'll run us about 15 or 20 laps here, and then they'll start catching left traffic, and that's when it's going to get interesting.
Jeff Green in the 10 car, he rides 4th. His teammate right behind him there, Jason Keller, in the 57. Both of those cars, Larry, have been around the top 5 all day.
The problem they've got right now, they're stuck behind lap traffic. Jay Sauter in the 43 car, he's a lap down. And right in front of them, you got Randy LaJoy and Ashton Lewis. Why are these guys racing? Because we've got a bunch of race cars that's a lap down. They're racing for all the way from position 13th back to 20th.
Right, 12 cars on the lead lap. Elton Sawyer is 11th. The 18 of Jeff Purvis, the last 2 cars on the lead lap.
And they got their lap back when that last caution came out, because we did have 10 cars on the lead lap.
We've got 9 cars off or out of the race. Greg Biffle has led 23 laps. Started 7th on the afternoon.
Right now, he's about a 10th of a lap faster than Kevin Harvick. And I just feel strongly fuel mileage is out of the play. Randy Goss, he told him, be smooth. This is a hit-your-mark racetrack. Every corner, like a road course, like Pocono, you drive it down in that corner, you've got to hit your marks, you've got to run your line. That's easy to do, like he is right now, by himself. It gets harder to do in lap traffic.
In the pre-race show, we saw Tim Speedowa talking about that very thing, Larry, how to hit your marks, what your visual reference is. But when you're in traffic, or as you said, working side by side with another car, you've got to compromise. You're not going to hit your marks every time.
It's a very line-sensitive racetrack.
Tim Speedowa riding the 3rd position.
3 1/4 seconds behind the leader.
There you see in the upper left-hand portion of your screen the leaders, the speeds they're running.
The man that's leading the race is by far the quickest. Kevin Harvick was 4th quickest, and it's almost up to 3 seconds. But again, lap traffic is not far away. That's when that interval will shrink.
Take a look at the interval again. Biffle's your leader.
Jason Keller in 5th place in the 57 car, 2nd quickest speed. But he's 6.5 seconds behind the leader, Greg Biffle.
Should also mention that Tony Raines, our pole sitter, is in the 6th position. Bobby Hamilton Jr. hanging around at 7th. And Biffle, who was up to 3rd, is now riding in the 8th position. There you see Tony Raines in that number 33.
The pace that Kevin Harvick set back in that first 100 laps, just part of the key to a good finish here today was stay on the lead lap.
Greg Biffle has led 6 different races. Today would be his 7th. So number 60 goes by the lap car, Kelly Denton in the 54. And drawing a beat on David Donahue in the 25.
Lap traffic is definitely throwing him a curve right now.
Larry, let's check in with Jeff Hammond.
Larry, Steve, you keep talking about this lap traffic. We're hearing down here in the pit area, a lot of these teams, especially Randy Goss, is talking to their spotters. Hey, talk to these slower cars. Get them to move a certain way to help us get through and get around this racetrack. We keep talking about it. But if you catch a guy at the wrong place at the wrong time, you can lose as much as a second to the guy behind you, or you could gain a second on the guy behind you. So your spotter is going to become very important as this thing goes on.
You see the spotters here, they're right below us in the booth, and I've been watching them for about the last 10 or 15 laps. I've never seen people running around so much. Hey, let me by. You let us by. We get a caution, we'll let you have a lap back.
Larry, we hear that every week, spotters talking about cutting deals for their drivers. Sometimes those deals play out, sometimes they don't happen.
I guarantee you, we talk about rivalries on the racetrack. There's plenty of rivalries in that spot stand.
There's our leader, Greg Biffle. We have 52 laps remaining up 200 here at Nazareth. You're watching NASCAR on FX. Stay tuned for the last 50 laps.
I love the fact that Time Warner's a local company. I had the best installation.
The picture quality is excellent.
I like to watch Disney, Discovery.
I watch the NASCAR races all the time.
Bay News 9.
Movies for me. I love to watch movies.
Might sound some music.
Call today to upgrade to Time Warner Digital Multimedia with over 225 channels and digital quality picture and sound.
With Time Warner Digital Multimedia, you can watch whatever you want to watch out of 200 different channels.
Hey, did you think you'd have to climb Mount Everest to find the lowest price in a full-size SUV? Come to Gator Ford and get the lowest price on Expeditions. Gator Ford's got a mountain of Expeditions. All packages and colors with unbelievable prices starting as low as $27.9. And if you come in right now, you can get a $1,000 rebate or financing as low as 0.9%. Plus, if you hurry, you'll discover that Gator Ford's got special lease rates as low as $375 a month. Just look for the sign with the good-looking reptile. Gator Ford on Highway 301, just north of I-4. A proud member of the Grade 8 Metro Ford dealers.
Time Warner Communications gives you services you can't get anywhere else.
The channel selection is unbelievable.
Our grandkids love that we get Roadrunner and digital cable.
It's got stuff you just can't get on satellite. I can watch local channels or Hollywood movies whenever I want.
There's something for my whole family. A parental control that gives you peace of mind.
I get so many more channels than I have with satellite, and there's enough for our whole family.
The battle for the remote starts at 8.
Time Warner Communications. The very best in TV keeps getting better.
Of NASCAR action on FX. Thursday is Winston Cup qualifying at 7, followed by Goodies Dash. Then Saturday it's Happy Hour, 3:30 Eastern, only on FX.
Lots of racing on your Fox family of networks. Winston Cup qualifying on Thursday night, followed by the Goodies Dash Series at 9 p.m. Eastern. On Saturday, it's the CarQuest Auto Parts 300 at 1 o'clock, and that's followed by NASCAR Winston Cup practice. Then on Sunday, it's NASCAR This Morning with John Roberts, and the Coca-Cola 600 will be on the air at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific.
Of course, the big story, the Coca-Cola 600. When Tony Stewart starts the Coca-Cola 600, he hopefully already has 500 miles in his pocket just a few hours before that.
That's going to be fascinating to watch at the Indianapolis 500 and the Coca-Cola 600. Greg Biffle continues to lead this race. He goes by the lap car of Clay Rogers. Greg Biffle, as we said, trying to win his second NASCAR Busch Series Race of the Year. And let's go down to Jeff Hammond with more on the 60.
That's right, Steve. Had a little discussion this morning with Randy Goss, the crew chief on that car, and he said that when they got here at Nazareth, they did something that was kind of like uncharacteristic. They did not worry about working on qualifying. They worked on their race setup. They put a lot of time and a lot of effort in getting their car where it would turn where it needed to be, and also where it'd be tight coming up off the corner, where it'd get back in the gas and drive up off the corner like they needed to. Also, this morning they made a decision and made a gear change. These guys, we talk about the chemistry that these two have. It shows here today. They realized that their qualifying has not been what it needed to be, but they were getting behind in their race setups. So they really concentrated on working on their race setup, and it's starting to pay off here in the latter parts of this race.
Jeff, Larry touched on that in the pre-race. You said that these guys were going to have to make some educated guesses. It was hot and slick yesterday, cold and overcast today. 60 made a gear change, and it looks like it's working.
Well, again, a hot, slick racetrack, the race pace is slower. You normally will pull a little bit of a lower gear. They probably went to, I'm going to speculate, maybe a little higher gear because of the cooler conditions, turns more RPM. Also, a higher gear will help the fuel mileage just a little bit. You're not turning as many RPMs.
158 laps complete. Just 42 away from the checkered flag as Greg Biffle continues to lead here at the Nazareth 200. Followed by the 2 of Kevin Harvick, the 66 of Tim Fedewa. Jeff Green, that 10, is 4th, and Jason Keller is 5th. A lot of these cars have been running in basically the same position most of the day, Larry.
Well, the cars that's been good all day long, they're still up there and running in that top 10 or 12. You know, they've been slicing and dicing a little bit. Of course, Greg Biffle and Kevin Harvick pretty much been the class of the field all day. But the thing about Greg Biffle, he was 3rd, he was 4th, he was 5th. But track position, now he can kind of run his own race. He can be patient with that lap traffic. Now he has the cream of the field.
And he's in lap traffic. Battle for 3rd. Jeff Green gets 5 feet away.
And then going to pull his teammate Jason Keller in that 57 car. These two cars have been catching Tim Fedewa, but they've been having to deal with lap traffic.
Jeff Green now into the 3rd position. Keller up to 4th. Fedewa is 5th.
Oh, look at Fedewa. Drove off in that corner. Looked like he jumped back on the throttle. Car got real loose with him. Had to back completely off. Lost a lot of ground right there.
I wonder if something's wrong with that car, Larry, or as you said, he just missed his mark that time.
Well, again, all it takes, and I'm not talking about a car width, I'm talking about maybe a couple of feet, maybe a half a groove off. If you don't hit it just right, timing. Back to the throttle too soon, you're going to throw the time of that race car off.
Jeff Hammond also mentioned earlier he's seen a lot of brake dust on the wheels. He's pretty hard on the brakes here.
Yes, you are. You use a tremendous amount of brake getting into turn 1 and turn 3, and when you jump on the brake too hard, it can upset the race car.
Might have been what happened to Tim Fedewa in that 66. Winner of 2 races here at Nazareth. The NASCAR Busch Series have been racing here since 1988, 13 consecutive years. Fedewa won in 1995 and again in 1998. 37 laps remaining for Greg Biffle. Biffle came in here 4th in the point standings. Here I was, Larry, talking about Harvick, Green, and Keller in the point race, and you said, don't forget.
Oh, yeah.
You were right.
Again, those last 2 races, especially the Richmond wreck, really put a damper on his point situation. And the thing about the way Winston Cup, Busch National Truck Series points is structured, it can take you 1 week to lose a bunch of ground. It can take you a month to gain it back. Consistency. All about consistency.
And Larry, is it also true to say for a race team, you know, Biffle had that accident at Richmond, but does a race team, does their morale stay up if they know that they've run well but didn't finish well?
I think, yeah, when you've got a team, especially the Randy Goss-led race team that's went through so much with Greg Biffle in the Truck Series and now in his rookie season, many a time went home with a wrecked race car. But when I felt good about it is if we was in that wreck and it was somebody else's making and we had a good run going. That was a lot better feeling than if you'd been out there and run 25th all day long. You hate to tear a race car up, at least you knew you were there and you had a pretty good package.
Yeah, it's also deceiving. You can finish 15th and be a non-factor, you know, the whole race. So you've got to, like you said, hang your hat on the fact that you were strong while you were out there. Take a look at the points if the race finishes this way.
He's about a fourth of a lap from a lot of lap traffic. He's got about 4 cars out in front of him, and then a little further in front of him, there's about 8 cars in front of him. So again, here with 34 laps to go, strategy's out the window, maybe the lap traffic, but right now he's got over a 7-second lead.
It's time for Greg Biffle to pull those belts tight, bring it to the house. You're watching the Nazareth 200 on FX.
June 10th, 43 drivers, 400 miles, 191 miles per hour, one network. Summer heats up as Winston Cup changes Michigan forever. Gordon, Stewart, Jarrett, Wallace. Reigning champ Tony Stewart tries to hold off an all-star field in the shadow of Motown. Winston Cup racing live from Michigan, Sunday, June 10th, only on FX.
Good morning, Mr. Morrison. How are we? Good. Let's have a look at your chart, shall we? You know what I want for my birthday? I want one of those lawnmowers you sit on. What? Oh, that. It's nothing. You'll be fine for a while.
What if doctors treated you?
Got at least 2 or 3 weeks before anything major happens.
The way you treat your car.
Pet Boys treats cars right. Save 10% off our already discounted deluxe preventative maintenance package.
Do you like monkeys?
All you need to know is where to go. Pet Boys.
Hank Parker Jr. drives number 36 for the GNC Live Well Racing Team.
How's it feel, Hank? Feels pretty good.
GNC Mega Man Premium multivitamins help Hank fine-tune his nutritional intake.
Bring it in. I think we got something that can make it a little better. All right.
Are we ready?
Oh, yeah, we're ready.
What are you doing for your body?
That's for the car, right?
Live well with GNC, the official vitamin store of NASCAR.
Greg Biffle just 30 laps away from the checkered flag here at the Nazareth 200. He's having his way with the field right now. There's Jeff Green, our third-place car. Kevin Harvick in second. Let's go down to Dick Berger with more on Jeff Green. Dick?
Well, he's been having a hard time, as have many of the other front runners, getting through traffic. Some of these very slow cars are also so underfunded that the spotters don't have uniforms. So the top guys are wandering around up there in the spotter stand trying to find out the fellow or woman it is that is in contact with a car that they need to have moved over. And it's driving some of these drivers absolutely nuts. They don't even know who to talk to up there in the spotter stand because they don't all have uniforms. They're not used to that.
Just saw Keith Barnwell, the spotter for Jeff Green in the 10 car. Jeff behind the 61 of Tim Sauter right now as he tries to go by the 61. Larry, let's go back to Jeff Hammond real quick. Jeff?
Yeah, guys, one of the things I was thinking about listening to Randy Goss talk to his driver about traffic and how much of a lead he's got, like 7 seconds. We talk about momentum. We talk about rhythm. And, Larry, you know yourself that sometimes when you're trying to guard that lead and protect that situation, you start trying to tell a driver how to drive, you mess that rhythm up, and sometimes that can come back and get you in more trouble rather than just leave him alone and let him pick his own way through it.
Yeah, Jeff, I believe with 7.5-second lead, I'm going to stay off the radio. You know, I'm going to maybe keep him posted if he gains a second on you. But with 7.5 seconds, the best thing I think Randy Goss could do is leave it to Greg Biffle and leave it to that spotter to do their job.
Greg Biffle, 26 laps away from securing the checkered flag here at the Nazareth 200. He's got a pretty healthy lead right now over Kevin Harvick.
Yeah, he's 25 laps away, but he's about 2.5 to 3 seconds away from 8 cars. And in those 8 cars will be Jeff Purvis, Elton Sawyer, J. McMurray trying to stay on the lead lap. So he's got to try to pick and choose and be very careful here where he catches this group. In fact, he's zooming in right now on Jeff Purvis, who's the 12th place car on the lead lap. He'll be trying to stay on this lead lap in case the caution comes out.
Well, you know, that's demoralizing when you start lapping 12, 11, 10th place cars. He's got a strong piece on him.
See right there, he beats it back to the throttle, but again, Jeff Purvis running that inside line. It's just so hard to pass. This is a long straightaway right here, down the back straightaway, and there's 2 cars right in front of Jeff Purvis running side by side.
Hey, Larry, talk about the pink tape there on the front of this. Well, now we can't because our visual agent went by.
Pink tape is gone.
Oh. Greg Biffle is about to shut the door in this race, but there's still 23 laps remaining. Don't leave your recliner. You're watching the Nazareth 200 on FX.
Saturday on FX, it's a National League Central Division showdown. The Cardinals battle the Reds. FX Baseball, Saturday at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific.
And the round starts.
How you doing? How you doing? Yeah.
How you doing?
How you doing?
Jerry there?
Yeah. How you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing? So what's going on?
You don't want to know.
Oh, right, the number 99 Aaron's Dream Machine.
Oh, yeah, ain't she a beauty? Of course, she don't compare to the wife, though.
Really, these are the true Aaron's Dream Machines, the products we all dream about owning.
And at Aaron's, everyone's automatically pre-approved with no credit required?
Yeah, and you get the guaranteed lowest price, too.
So you can afford this awesome RCA 52-inch big screen TV with picture-in-picture, big speaker sound, and free screen protector.
And I'm really pre-approved?
That's right. So let Aaron's drive your dreams home today.
4 identical cars. 4 identical engines. Only one running on new Haviland, our latest triumph in Haviland motor oil technology. And what difference does that make? Not only do you get unsurpassed performance, but tests show that with new Haviland under the hood, you get better gas mileage. Haviland. Add more life to your car.
Buy 12 quarts of Biffle motor oil and get this die-cast collectible for just $5.99 while they last.
McCormick Grill Mates make your grilling irresistible. In fact, Grill Mates will grab you a slew of compliments, like,
Wow, he's really outdone himself this time.
But how do you really know they're not just being polite?
So, what do you think of the steaks?
Oh, you'll know. McCormick Grill Mates shake-on seasonings and marinades. The taste you trust.
Greg Biffle is the leader, 18 laps away from winning his second NASCAR Busch Series race of the year. He's led twice for a total of 67 laps. Now, Larry, what can he be thinking right now? Just drive his line?
What he's thinking about right now, this bunch is getting sideways and sliding in front of him, but Elton Sawyer in the 98 car, he's trying to stay on the lead lap. That's the 11th place car. But he just goes by him, and that's, again, Greg Biffle. He never checks up. But look at this gaggle of cars in front of him. And several of those cars, Jamie McMurray in the 27, they're trying to stay on the lead lap. And that's the thing they got that whole race team's thinking about right now.
I like the word conglomerate in the cars. I like what you said earlier.
Okay. Jeff Hammond, what have you got to show us?
Well, Larry, I found one of my favorite tools, a hammer. But guess what? When I looked at this big old sledgehammer, I looked on one side and it says driver adjustment. I could have used one of those back when I was working with Darrell Walker. Every now and then he needed a little bit of adjustment. And fortunately for this group of guys today, Greg Biffle doesn't.
Now you need the adjustment for Chris Myers.
He needed that hammer last night when he got ambushed by super soakers. Bertrand and Yoko laid siege to the Hollywood Hotel.
We've been planning that for months.
I guess Jeff has a dry shirt on today.
Well, now, guys, I just want to say one thing. When you talk about the assassin Bertrand, you know, realize one thing. There will be a day for Myers and Hammond to retaliate.
A day we are all looking forward to, Jeff.
He's been telling me the booth's going to go down. Don't be in it.
I will say I had prior knowledge of that assault. I should have told Jeff Hammond. Dick, what do you got?
I'm just going to tell you this thing is not over yet. Remember, we didn't have Jeannie Zelasco with us last night, and we didn't have you, Steve Burns. And there's more super soakers and more action yet to come.
Do you have one with my name on it?
You bet we do, and it's a big one, and it's loaded and ready to go.
I shouldn't say this, but I was cheering in the motel room last night.
Cheering for us, I hope, and not for those guys in the Hollywood Hotel. Hey, they spend all the time up there where it's air-conditioned and nice. Here we are at pit road, and all the dirt and the smoke and the noise and the heat. They had it coming.
Hey, Jeff Hammond said it, the real men work in the pit.
Hey, guys, talk about action. Look at this battle we got for second place. Jeff Green in that 10 and his teammate Jason Keller, they're all over the back of Kevin Harvick. Hamlin, I believe, going away from Kevin Harvick's car right now, here late in the race.
Boy, Kevin Harvick led 90 laps. He was about to stick up the show earlier, but look at Jeff Green. He's all over the back end there.
Got to keep up with the racetrack. It's maybe like this set of tires they put on Kevin Harvick, not as good, but boy, Jeff Green, boom, I'm here.
Twice.
I'm here. Look, he got the hood. I don't know if I'd let him know quite that hard. These guys, they'll be teammates again at Dover, Delaware here in a few weeks, back in a Winston Cup car. Jeff Green will be back up there driving that number 30 car for Richard Childress.
Yeah, the America Online car. Let's watch Jeff Green. Take a replay. There he's behind Harvick.
There. I'm here. Look at the rear wheel. The rear wheels almost come up off the ground on the two cars. But Harvick never checks up. And Keller says, okay, you guys, I may try you on the outside here if you're going to play those games.
Harvick never lifted, man. He stayed in those wheels. They've been off the ground, but they were spinning.
The RPMs came up, that's for sure.
11 laps for Greg Biffle. He'll have his second career Busch Series win. There he is, the number 6 of the 2000 Truck Series champion. You know, Larry, there was some talk we heard in the pre-race show. Biffle talked about maybe going to Winston Cup as early as next year.
Well, again, I would hate to see him move too fast. You know, that's the mistake I think a lot of people make. Get you a couple of years in this Busch Series. Learn how to win here, which he's certainly doing. You got to learn how to lose. You got to learn how to do a lot of things. Now, we'll say he's on a pretty fast agenda, but I'd love to see him run 2 good, solid years in this Busch Series. He's fixing to put Jamie McMurray now, the 10th place car, down a lap.
Battle for 8 just in front of Greg Biffle. 59, Rich Bickle. 92, Jimmy Johnson. Biffle just put the 10th place car a lap down.
And he's going to be in good shape. You know, we're on 8 laps to go. He's got about a 7.5-second lead. He just needs Randy Goss's spot. They just need to keep him posted where Kevin Harvick, Jeff Green, this group is.
Go down to Jeff Hammond. What's going on down there, Jeff?
Well, Randy Goss was talking about, I think we're okay on fuel. I think we're okay on fuel. But if you'll notice right now, one of the crew members, which happens to be the motor tuner, Tim Caldwell, he's carrying a can of ether just in case that thing does run out of fuel. And he looks like he's a little bit nervous. He keeps shaking it, pacing back and forth and watching the car. I mean, it's not over with yet, guys. At least not for this guy.
Hey, Jeff, tell Randy if they're nervous about fuel, Biffle could slow down just a little bit. I think he'd be okay.
I'll pass that on. I will.
His lead almost 9 seconds over Kevin Harvick.
And how do you save fuel in a place like this?
Exactly.
Well, you roll out of the throttle a little early. You get back on a little later. You don't slow down no second, but you can buy you a couple of 3/10 just by rolling out earlier, staying off the throttle. I used to tell my drivers, keep the butterflies of the carburetor closed. That's the only way you're going to conserve fuel.
And did they listen?
Sometimes they did. Sometimes they said, I can't hear you, Larry.
You're breaking up. We'll take a look at the time intervals next time around. 6 laps remaining for Greg Biffle. There you see in the upper left-hand corner of your screen the interval. We're going to see the interval. Greg Biffle, the leader. 5 laps remaining. That's a pretty healthy lead at almost 9 seconds there.
And he's still the fastest race car right now. Jeff Green, though, in that 3rd place. But the problem Jeff Green's got, it's not Greg Biffle, it's Kevin Harvick.
Yeah.
Cannot get around him.
And once he laid the wood to Harvick, look at the lead that Harvick now has over Green.
Yeah, again, this is a fast racetrack, and front downforce is pretty important. And when he went up there and caved his hood in and did some damage to the front end, I'm going to speculate maybe that car's not turning as good because he's messed the aerodynamics of the front end up.
Tim Speedwell running in the 5th position. Our pole sitter, Tony Raines, is in 6th in that blue number 33. And Bobby Hamilton Jr. hanging around in the 26.
Yeah, you saw the last time on the speed chart, Jason Keller, the 4th place car, he actually had the fastest speed, but he's got 9 1/4 seconds up there to Greg Biffle.
So the only drama left is unless Greg Biffle runs out of gas or has a problem, because he's got this one nailed down.
He just needs to be smooth, 7.8 seconds. About 2.5 laps to go here.
You know, the words patience and race car drivers, they don't go together that way.
No, they don't at all. No, they don't. 2 laps to go, 2 miles to go. Need to be smooth. No cars pressuring him from behind. Just ride right there. But he's not. He's gonna go by Mike McLaughlin in the 20 car. But he's a racer. He's a racer.
And he gets by Mike. White flag is out. Biffle led 133 laps at Nashville. Today he's led 85, excuse me.
About a half a lap to go. Goes down the backstretch. Plenty of room behind him. Plenty of room in front of him.
Greg Biffle's going to win his second race of the 2001 season in a good battle for second.
Yeah, we got 3 cars here. We got Kevin Harvick, we got Jeff Green, Jason Keller. That's the way they're going across the line.
Yep, Harvick held off the teammates. So Greg Biffle wins his second race of the NASCAR Busch season. He won the first time at Nashville on April 14th. Window net goes down. Let's go down to Jeff Hammond.
Well, Randy Goff, you got your second win here at Nazareth, buddy, and it looked pretty impressive.
Man, the Granger Ford Taurus was awesome today. Biffle just really put his race face on. I never seen him drive that perfect before, you know, and through traffic. Harvick was probably as good as us, but Biffle just, he went for it in traffic. He put it out on a limb for us, and I'm just happy for the guys. I appreciate all the hard work everybody's done for us.
Randy, you think that maybe the fact that Harvick was running second place maybe gave him a little more incentive to get the job done today?
Well, he's always like that if you get him in the lead. It really doesn't matter, but it was a great race for us. We missed our setup the last couple races in a row, so the whole team was a little bit nervous, especially myself, but just happy for a good day.
He had a good day, and that's for sure, Larry.
When we come back, we'll talk to a victorious Greg Biffle. The second win of 2001. Take a look at your top 5. You're watching NASCAR on FX.